A chance encounter 1733. Look at these beautiful horses and elephants. Who brought them here? Squealed Ahilya. Reluctantly, she tore her eyes away from the beautiful animals. It would get dark soon. She hurried inside the temple and lit a lamp. Ahilya closed her eyes and bowed in prayer. Little did she know that she was being watched by Malharrao. He was the brave and mighty Subedar, a senior Maratha noble of the Malwa province. On his way to Pune, he had camped in the village of Chaundi in Maharashtra. It was his horses and elephants that Ahilya had admired. She has something special about her. She would make a good bride for my son, Khanderao, Malharrao thought. In those days, marriages happened early. Off to Indore Ahilya was the daughter of the village head, Mankoji Shinde. She hailed from a shepherd family. In those days, girls were not sent to school. Society considered the role of women as only managing the household and taking care of the family. Educating a girl was not given importance. But Ahilya's father thought differently and taught her to read and write. After Ahilya and Khanderao were married, Ahilya went to Indore, which was in the Malwa province, as the Holkar family's daughter-in-law. The rest is history. She was destined to become a queen. Who was Ahilyabai? 300 years ago, Maharani Ahilyabai ruled the Maratha-led Malwa kingdom for 28 years, 1767 to 1795 AD. Her rule of Malwa in the 18th century has gone down in history as a model of benevolent and effective governance. At that time, the Peshwas led the Maratha Empire to new frontiers. Peshwa is a word of Persian origin and means foremost or the first minister. It was a title given to the prime ministers of the Maratha Empire. At its peak, the Maratha Empire extended from Tanjavur in Tamil Nadu to Peshawar, which is now in Pakistan. The northern frontier was held strong by the Shindes of Gwalior and the Holkars of Indore. Malharrao was the founder of the Holkar rule. He is particularly known for being the first Maratha Subedar of Malwa in central India. Ahilyabai ruled Malwa after him. She was a great queen. She restored temples which were destroyed in invasions and built ghats on the banks of the river Narmada. She took care of her subjects and was known as Punyashlok Ahilyabai, a Sanskrit title for people of flawless character. A tumultuous life, 1754. Ahilyabai was just 29 years old when tragedy befell her. The Marathas laid siege upon the Kumbhar fort in Rajasthan, which was then under the Rajput rule. Her husband Khanderao was hit by a cannonball, and he died on the spot. It was all over in the blink of an eye. Ahilyabai was devastated. As was the custom of that time, she was prepared to be a sati. At that time, Hindu women were expected to practice sati jump in their husband's pyre to end her life along with him. It was wrongly thought that a woman's life was of no value if she didn't have a man to take care of her. Sati is now banned in India. Khanderao had 2 other wives. Polygamy, having more than one wife, was also practiced during those times, and they committed sati on his funeral pyre. However, at the last minute, a heartbroken Malharrao stopped Ahilyabai. "I have lost my only son," he told her. "Don't jump into the pyre. Don't leave us. Now you are like a son to me." With his son dead, Malharrao now pinned his hopes on Ahilyabai. He knew that his daughter-in-law was cleverer than his son, and she would rule Malwa ably and wisely. Taking over the reins, Malharrao decided that while he would go to battle, Ahilyabai would look after their kingdom. He began training Ahilyabai in defense and administration. He schooled her on the matters of the state through letters when he would travel. On many occasions, according to Maratha custom, Ahilyabai had accompanied her husband to the battlefield, and she was no stranger to the complexity of planning and waging wars. What did people say about Ahilyabai? In his book, The Discovery of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru wrote Ahilyabai's reign has become almost legendary as a period during which perfect order and good government prevailed, and the people prospered. She was a very able ruler and organizer, highly respected during her lifetime, and considered as a saint by a grateful people after her death. British historian John Key called her the philosopher queen. John Malcolm, an officer in British India, documented Ahilyabai's life after her death. He said that she seems to be one of the purest and most exemplary rulers that ever existed. A lone ranger after Malharao's death, Ahilyabai found her kingdom in grave danger. Gangabhatatya, Ahilyabai's manager, conspired with Raghabadatta Peshwa of Pune and invited him to Maheshwar to take over the reins of Ahilyabai's kingdom. Raghabadatta was the uncle of Madhavrao Peshwa, the fourth Peshwa of the Maratha Empire. As she set out on this epic journey, people came out in support and admiration to see their queen in all her strength and glory. This expression of love, respect, admiration and loyalty by the common people was the true measure of her success. Madhavrao Peshwa instructed Raghabadatta to return and permitted Ahilyabai to continue the administration of Malwa. She moved her capital from Indore to nearby Maheshwar, by the banks of the river Narmada. During her time, trade grew, and farmers were happy. Diplomatic ties deepened. Art, music and literature blossomed in the capital. It was indeed an ideal kingdom. Weavers, artisans, sculptors and artists found support in Maheshwar. Looking beyond, good leaders are able to plan for the future. Ahilyabai was one of the first few nobles to realize the danger of the British monarchy. She understood that the British fought differently from the Indians and recruited a French commander into her army. He trained 4 platoons in the European style of warfare. In 1772 she wrote to the Peshwas, warning them about the danger of getting too close to the British monarchy. In her letter, she wrote, "A tiger can be killed by using a trap or physical force, but a bear has the capacity to hug us and tickle us to death." But the Indian kings, nobles and generals were so busy fighting among themselves that nobody had the foresight to unite against the British. Ahilyabai was pained to see this. An everlasting name, 1795. Ahilyabai passed away in 1795. She was 70 years old. To honor her legacy, the Indian government released a stamp with her name in 1996. An award in her name is given by a social organization in Indore to individuals working for public betterment. The airport at Indore is named Devi Ahilyabai Airport in her memory. The University of Indore is named Devi Ahilyabai Vishwavidyalaya after her. For the people, Ahilyabai stood strong and people trusted her. "I am bound to make my subjects happy. I am responsible for my actions. I am accountable to God for everything I do," reads the engraving outside her Maheshwar Palace.